Hello, everyone. I am just in time to catch the start of the tournament, and we're probably going to have a quick draw here as well on board one. And that gives me actually a moment to just set up and set up decently. Okay, great stuff. We are ready to go. This is some birthday tournament. Um, by the way, if you don't know yet, we are having a set. Oh yeah, and I've just got a confirmation that Daniel Caudry will also be playing a charity tournament on leeches. And okay, well, great stuff so far. This is the Manyanani Youth Day Arena. And okay, I think I should quickly show you guys as well the tournament I want to host. I don't know, they look like they're making a draw already as predicted. Okay, so definitely Daniel Caudry is playing. That's such great news. And let's get back to this tournament as we have some prize money, I guess. A 50 Rand entry, guaranteed prize money of 1,000 Rand. Uh, I'm waiting for the Wolf and them to get into a game now. This is still a game we're waiting for. So there are 30 participants. Don't know how quick pairings are going to be. We have Colvin Klaassen in the house playing against Dr. Shabir, Shabir Bawudian. Okay, so the tournament on Saturday is from 2 to 5. And let me just get the link to the tournament. So I'm using this tournament as well as as a means to promote the tournament I'm hosting, but also such a great work done by the Willenberg family during this time of the coronavirus to host such nice events. I would not have allowed this pawn to go to c4. Exactly. We'll get back to that game in a second. Here we go. There's still just two players in the house. Uh, in any case, you need to join the team over here, and you can do it through following this registration form. So you need to be in the team Restoring Dignity charity fundraiser. We don't have a lot of interest, but hoping that chord replaying would help so far. So great stuff. In any case, Calvin Klaassen and Shabir Baudian battling out here. Klaassen stealing some space will make nice outposts for these knights. I am. I'd like to play the c6 move as black after defending the pawn because it feels like you can start working with this diagonal. Not exactly an outpost for the knight. Uh, Potential square for your other knight to go to unless the pawn gets hunted down. So Calvin has done some calculations, said this pawn is going to be safe, and then this knight's not getting nudged off of the c5 square. And I prefer black here. You'll gain more space than white in the near future, and this bishop is not too bad. It can potentially help with a queenside shove. Knight a4. There was a trade there, and now I was correct with this point. Shabir got rid of this great knight, and now the bishop helps with a shove on the queen side. And still such a big spatial advantage, though. Calvin is dropping a pawn. He's not complaining. He's timing this G3 move, though. Calvin wants to push it at the right time. I think starting with Queen H4 and then G3, he potentially wants to sack the bishop. So he's just waiting to see when's the right time to do so. But I think Queen H4 now, followed by G3, should be game over. If H3, bishop takes H3, and after traded queen takes check, you need to go King G7. And I think he's looking for the move over there, but the move I think is just simply G2, and queen needs to take, and you can go Rook G7. Those are a lot of arrows, but after Rook G7, the queen is pinned to the king, and you trade. He starts with Rook G7. Now I'm not sure. It could be defended. Definitely, I would have gone Queen H6. There might still be a defense, right? So yeah, you need two moves. So you need Queen H6, and then there's still a moment for White to try and defend. Not sure how. Maybe King H1 is the idea, and then G3 and H3, and the sacrifice doesn't seem to be too good. I don't know. G2 is always an idea, whether the king is on H1 or G1. If the queen ever comes over, then a Rook G7 would have been fatalistic. In any case, Shabir Shubs, Dr. Shubs, looking to go down in this game. Colvin's going to have a fun game. Don't know if he is streaming. Um, okay, Baudian in a deep think here. How to defend that position? I'm guessing I would have liked just Rook G1 or something. And then at all costs, I don't know, there's really no avoiding anything over here. So maybe you need something to recapture on this square. Um, as crazy as it seems, I think G3 might be an option. At least it covers the square for the time being. You really wish this king was over here, right? The closed center as this one, a flank side attack, is usually a very instrumental. And now Queen H4. This I would have played a move earlier, I think. Uh, Shabir didn't find anything. Maybe, actually, this is an idea. I did not consider it. Uh, the rook, in a very creative way, actually managed to get onto the third and can be a defensive resource, not seeing how it fits together. Um, King moving away. How does this work now? You can close the rook's communication off if you go g3, sack a bishop. But what then? G2, I guess, is the big threat. And then white can just as well resign. We're going to see g3 and the bishop sack. I'm not predicting anything else. Oh, here's maybe no g3. You need to push the pawn. You can't allow the pawn to end up here, and you can't trade as well. Sorry, and you can't just leave it because that will be mate. So g3 and h3. Wow! Calvin says advantage is going nowhere. I'll just bring this rook to the game as well. Oh, what? I just missed action. I apologize. We had a trade here finally. Now the rook is part of the game. How did that happen? Sorry. Trades. I would not have traded there in any case. Opens up the attack, but you're always welcome to trade off like that. That's two rooks for the queen. Yeah, Colvin not doing what I would have thought he'd try to do in this game. Now it doesn't seem like it's one necessary. Oh, okay. Now he gets this one in. Okay. Oh, and there's a mate idea. Beautiful. Finally, a lot of patience. Looked like he might have thrown away his advantage over there. And Banele and the Wolf. I think this middle draw is the game they played against each other again. Yep. And they are in a game again. I'm just expecting a draw, so we'll just watch them draw out a quick game. Okay. Nothing interesting yet. South African Enchi. This guy's not bad. Playing against the Monster 1979. The Enchi is good in Bullet. I remember losing a few games against the Enchi in Bullet. That's such a good alternative to the Ostrich. Oh no, is that a queen trap? Yeah, the queen's trapped. The Enchi, having gone berserk, did not protect his queen, and now the knight is hanging, so he needs to play f5. Uh, it seems like the only type of compensation. The Enchi's a great player. I would not put the Enchi up for losing this game, even down well a queen for a rook. Um, Rook b4 can defend things, keep the file. Uh, okay, Rook c8. What's that about? I was also waiting for the b4 shove. The g4 shove. This should come in sometime. Preparing it, maybe getting the king out of the way. Not sure what white's up to. Wants this outpost, I guess. And from there, when the knight stops, you can attack the pawn. He says, no, let's attack the pawn immediately. And now since the king has moved, the Enchi is going to stop for a... He stopped for a smoke break, and now he's going to attack. The Enchi made progress, but dropped a piece over here. Uh, and now the knight's hanging in two ways. I wouldn't be even too afraid of any of the action from this pawn. In any case, he says he'll come back with like this. Is there anything? If the queen was not here, this would not be anything because the rook is also defending the pawn. So the Enchi is going down. You've got a bishop b4. He'll try it, I guess. Okay. He wants this, I guess, with bishop b5. If you can get all three of those moves in one shot, rook g1 would be checkmate. But unfortunately, white gets to move as well, and he's up so much material. He could just consider taking a pawn. Okay. Well, respect to the Enchi. He's not just resigning. Oh, this must be devastating. This pin. It's going to be game over soon. The monster will take this one. It seems like lots happening, but rook g3 now, and oh, but knight f7 was mate like the whole time. You can do it now. Okay, great. So the Enchi, not feeling top form yet. Do we have a big game over here? Yep. This was a pairing I was kind of hoping for. Banele and Colvin. Now, Banele, I'm seeing in the chat here, I barely did not notice it because his time doesn't seem too low. He berserked this game. He gets a file with tempo. It can be challenged immediately. Guessing. Trying to see if there's anything tricky. You'd really want your knight to go to this square. I'm guessing Banele might find a way to make white off his draw. Okay, so Colvin's going to play for more. He's got an extra pawn. And he's got increment. So he's really going to ride this one out. They're playing for prize money, so you should really use your chances. Starts with h5. Banele says this knight is going to be pretty quick to this square. Once we trade queens, and Colvin says nope. Your knight's going to get no action. This bishop will be cutting back over here. The king will be looking at most of the other squares. So yeah, Banele will need to find something creative if he does not want to lose this. g5. Just making progress as black. You're going to make an outside pass pawn as well and occupy the white king. It's going to be trades. Throw the bishop back. This is also square. Just one step back or more. Don't go here. The knight's attacking, obviously. And how does Keith do that? He's messaging me while he's playing. King h4. Maybe, maybe Vanello's got something here. Knight is not the worst of pieces, and black can't be too happy with his bishop. All white's pawns are on white squares, and only one target, and this target seems like it might move. Where does this bishop go to? This knight is actually doing a great job. You just need to wait out the tempos. Uh, Somehow there might be something here. If you could free the knight. Um is there a tactic? No, he just liquidates, says that the knight covers these squares. This is a nice thing to observe, and want to make progress as black actually very tricky because your only break is on a light square. So you might need to draw yourself closer to the knight. Okay, first just make sure that knight goes nowhere. Is that the idea? Yeah, you need to cover the square at all times, and I think then it's just a draw. Um, but okay, he can be drawn into time pressure. Why not king g5 in any case? Okay, so he uses his king to help with this idea, but now Banele's king is in time as well to support the knight, so he's able to capture like this. And whoa, be careful, your bishop might just hang, and then it's just the whole new game. Ah, now the king gets to d5. When the king gets to d5, it's also I'd ready to be trying to make progress as white. This feels like it's oh no, let's go king d7 instead. Uh, Whoa, will you be able to defend the pawn on the a file though? King here. Knight e8 is your idea. So if takes, then takes here. Takes. You also gobble up some pawns. I think it will just liquidate. So after king a6, I expect uh, liquidation or something. White offered a draw yet again. Down a lot on the clock. Okay. Yeah, for now you can run with your knight, I guess, between loads of these squares. And it's also keeping the king out. Okay, so there's a lot of waiting around. Calvin is now down on the clock, but he gets those 3 seconds. And finally, he makes the game more sharp, going for this line. Vanele, you need to be careful of this guy. He's gonna throw in a sucker punch like attack your. This is tricky. King gets in and move this pawn. I might just take this pawn with check. So ah whoa, these guys are going at it. Be careful. Where do you move your king to now as white? Your king's pretty far. I'd say b6. Yep. And at least now you have a situation that's drawn, but you need to keep your king in the corner. So the queen can't take this pawn when your king's in the corner because it will be stalemate. You can just king here. And I think one of the points is you just run between these two pawns points, and the queen can never capture the pawn. But Calvin might just allow him to make a queen to run down more time. We'll see how he does it. Not king here, I guess. Oh no, yeah, you can do it and just run the king to the corner. And Banele doesn't know it. Oh no. Banele doesn't know that his king can go to the corner. Oh no, his king could have gone to the corner. Well, that's a bit of a rookie mistake for such a high rated player. King goes to the corner and queen never takes the pawn on c7. Unfortunately, this is going to definitely cost him the game. King should have been trying to stay here, and he would have been able to hold it, I guess. He's still got another chance if Colvin. Okay, Colvin was hoping for that check. Yeah, your king is not in the right square anymore, man. Yeah. Of queen check, just go king to the corner. Yeah, the people are freaking out. Yeah, and he went for the mate. A nice mate. Coleman also pretty low on the clock, but he gets the mate. Now 2400 rating. Wolf has risen, and he's flushing away some opponents over here. Now he's playing against open files, and this seems like it came from a Roy Lopez, if I had to guess. Bishop on f8 is usually a theme, and in this case, it's just defending the mate. I guess he doesn't want to make holes by going g6. Everything is unprotected, so bishop f8 just keeps the tension of the position, keeps material on the board. Open files. Who's Mr. Open Files? And he's got the d file to work with, Mr. Open Files. You could potentially imagine a rook on d1, applying some pressure to this backwards, unprotected pawn. And this discovery is set up. Be careful, you can drop a queen if you did not notice it. There were different ways to deal with it, but I guess bishop e3, and you might still just play knight takes. What's the story? Bishop takes. I think it works, kind of. Kind of works. Check, you get the. I don't buy it. It doesn't work. No, the line's different. So it's bishop and knight. Bishop, take the knight, and simply just recapture the knight. And I think you've won a knight for a pawn. There you go. Uh, Playing on this d file. And you might just consider putting a piece here, recapturing with the rook if you can, to try and double. Try some ideas to double against this pawn. I think that's exactly what open files is doing. Rook takes would be the move. Pawn takes, and I'm not sure what your advantage is anymore. Yeah, rook takes. How will the wolf deal with this? Okay, find some space for the knight. This is now pawn. Can't capture it immediately. Oh, the wolf does something similar. So he's going to get this file, and I think it comes with force. Okay, great. He needs to go back to defend the pawn, or double up would be the more aggressive option, but you're not picking up this pawn yet. So the wolf has managed to find a nice way to play the position. Now open files just saying, okay, let's trade queens, and my pawn will be defended. Nope, we'll attack this pawn yet again, and however you're defending it, you need to make an awkward move. Okay, here we go, and he's tripling up on the pawns. The wolf has taken over initiative. He is now attacking. He's moved from defending the position to attacking it. Bishop d1 is another defensive move, and another attacking from the wolf. He's not giving up in exchange, finds better squares for this bishop. Moments ago, the bishop was still on e7, and the prospects did not look too great. Suddenly, it moved twice with tempo, third time now, going to f4. Not sure if this is where I'd like my bishop to be, but he says no, this is an open square for the rook, and even this would walk to mate. So you need to be very creative in how you're dealing with this threat. The wolf doesn't want to play a long game, he quickly wants to mate you. I'm guessing I check and king up. What's the problem? He says he has a mating net, so take my bishop. I'll put you in check. Where's the idea? I'm not seeing the mating net. What's the idea? Queen e3 with. Oh, the wolf does not see it as well. He would have played instantaneously. Queen check, sorry, was the other option. So I'm not too sure. Okay, so he went for this. Still not seeing, still not seeing the mate. Okay, so here's an idea. This pawn is technically hanging, and bishop defends. You can bring in another piece. So Panageo, they're saying open them files. Uh, this looks nice, but where's the mate? King h3, queen's defended. He's picking up material. He said, okay, enough of that. Let's pick up material. And he's now up the exchange. Found a way to pick up material from that sacrifice attack. And the wolf should have no problem converting this. Uh, he's up quite a bit on the clock. Going f3 now. Attack the rook and I'm just... No, I can't push through. Oopsie. You need to throw the rook back now, giving up that pawn. And f6. Stopping, I guess, e5. The wolf taking the open files now. And a rook d2 is going to coordinate against that bishop. Where are you moving that bishop to? Nowhere is the answer. It's trapped, and bam, goodbye. Let's find the mating idea here. You'd want to try and do this quickly as black. So I'm guessing rook takes just more checks and not seeing the mating idea. Yeah, he's going to waste a lot of time here if he doesn't try to mate the king, and king also escapes towards this side. So finally this move, but now white gets a queen, and white is one move away from mate. Oh no, he's smart, this wolf. Trades into a drawn endgame in this way. Maybe he could win it like this. I don't know. He says the king, there's no checks. Potentially, oh, if he can get a nice position like this, I'm feeling he's better. Yep, give another check. Okay, I'm not buying. I'm not too convinced. You can check and off the king here. Pretend that that pawn's hanging and move back. Mate the guy. Need to take this pawn, unfortunately. There's no fancy business here. You need to go for it. King needs to run, and good luck drawing this. You're down 2 minutes on the clock. Your opponent's got increment. Positions equal. You need to liquidate quickly, and now he's won. Again, out of nowhere. Open files is going down, and 6 seconds. This should be enough for the wolf to. He can probably not believe his luck at the moment. Still going to struggle. 6 seconds. Get that king up. Whoop, whoop. Don't stalemate. There's loads of stalemate ideas here for white. And he's not going to stalemate. F2, make a queen, cut that king off. There you go. And now he will definitely be on that second and 2 moves from mate. And such a lucky win over there. Okay, wow. Uh, the amount of time open files ended the game with was pretty insane. And that gives the wolf 5 points. Ex Wichenzoek is apparently Craig Willenberg. He's also playing. He's managed to win 2 Berserk games there, and then a third, getting that 5, and then a normal game for the 4. And the normal game was against Rowan now. Oh, he berserked South African NG back and took him down. So, who's in a game? South African NG, Seaside Sunset, Vanele and the NG on the game, and okay, the Wolf is not in the game yet. So I guess I want to see what Colvin is up to. They're playing against Seaside Sunset. They've both berserked, so this is like a nice hybrid of super blitz, 2 minutes 30 aside. And the last move, f6, weakens this e6 square, and Colvin knows it. He's using it in a different fashion, just saying, center's closed again, I'll start my flank side attack, as in the previous game we saw. And I might even see f5 now. Point being, you can't take the pawn, because your rook is currently undefended. And if you want to push, I'll trade. And, okay, no, that's not too great. I like Colvin's idea better. And is he going to take so long to execute an attack again? When the time's right, sometimes you just need to go for it. Honestly, I did not really see the line that bothered with the previous game that made it impossible for him to give up that bishop. I'm still a bit flustered. But in this game, it seems like he's doing nice things, just bringing his knight forwards. And look at this, f3 is going to be played instantly after g5 is going to be played, obviously, and then f3. I don't know. Okay, maybe there's an issue with letting the knight go to f6. So now the knight's trapped, f3. Yep, that was the final square for the knight. That was what g5 was about. He did not want, after f3, the knight going back to f6, so he said he'll play f3 in a second. Now a piece, and this is a great piece, and the rooks are looking at a weak pawn. Find a new square for this knight and start your attack here, I guess. Triple up with the rooks in this way. The queen is now free. Holds on to the diagonal while still looking to come to e1. And he's going to go to e1. Oh, he's going back here. Okay. So he allowed himself. Oh, he had this guy. Here comes a knight c6. The pawn was a defend. Oh, knight c6 was a clear way to win some material, but they're down quite a lot on the clock. So finally, the position I thought he was aiming for. 3 pieces attacking, 2 defending. He goes for it, picks up another pawn, and importantly, up a full piece now. Sorry, he was down a pawn earlier on, and now you can put the knight here. Be careful. But that should be made soon. Yep. Okay, great. Colvin with another win, and the Wolf in a game with Craig Willenberg, number 1 versus number 2. Let's jump over there. The Wolf has berserked again, and his position, well, he's got 2 minor pieces for a rook and 2 pawns. And what type of pawns are we talking about? We're talking about the D and the E pawn, but the D pawn is the one catches my attention. Craig now walking into a tactic. I think Queen E6 might hold on to stuff. No, you're losing material. He lost material here. He's considering something like knight takes E5. You can give 2 pieces, I guess. No, bishop takes queen, and you're not even getting knight takes C3. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. There's not much to do here. You're going down. Walking into that discovery, I don't know how or why was that forced. Previous move, queen d5. Why? You know the bishop's been fianchettoed. So he needs to deal with this one, and yep, this is not looking good for him. Yeah, queen e6 he goes for after a little bit of a think, but now there's just so much material for the wolf. And importantly, he goes knight e takes. I guess queen takes here, and you get this fork in as well. And how much is black down? He's up. He's only down a piece after what feels like has been the biggest attack ever. But he's just down a piece, and maybe black has got some potential with the d pawn. I don't know. Not prefer black here. He goes for this. We're going to see knight takes e7 check, h8, rook takes c8, rook takes c8. Need to take with the rook though, because it's being attacked. Oh, and this is the final blow. And this should be resigns. I Queen takes was necessary, but even then, does not look good. Okay, well done to the wolf over there. Nice tactical game that takes down the number two and the guy that you need to worry about. This guy, though, I'd be scared of Colvin's ability to take away my prize money. He's playing against the monster at the moment, and okay, I'm going to stick to one of his games again. We have what looks to have come from something with two bishops here on Chateau. The knight on h5 clears room for this f5 push. Let's just see how we came about this. Okay, so King's Indian, and with just a double fianchetto. And, oh, well, here we are. And yet again, Colvin looking to close down the position for a flank side attack. And the clues are there. Knight h5, and the closed center. Also, knight c5 looking to be traded and have a pawn that bolts the position closed, or just holds it closed like this. But a5, by the way, is just the way, and I show this all the time to make sure that the knight is safe on c5, which is a great square for the knight, and that does not get kicked away, or at least not kicked away immediately. So you're buying some time with this knight over here. And I'm not too sure if we're going to see f5. I think there's a problem with it. Yep, there is. f5 immediately. You need to go g takes and the knight hangs, or you need to go rook takes. And in which case g4 seems scary. I was not too sure if it's that scary after rook g5, giving up the exchange. Who knows? In any case, we have more safe play though. The bishop falls back to prepare the f5 move. And then after this knight got challenged, saying, well, f5 is going to be out of time now, or mistimed, we simply had knight going to f5. And now you need to decide if you're giving up this bishop for the knight. And the monster seems to have said, no, I'm not doing that. Okay. Now finally Calvin gets what he wants. He's going b takes. There's no point in well, going d takes, allowing this pawn maybe to move. But b takes opens a file. So whenever they're doubled pawns, remember there should be an open file. In this case, the b file. Okay, but now the knight, after this bishop has disappeared, I'm not liking what white did. This is exactly Calvin's plan. Close center, kingside attack. And beautiful knight on f5, challenging the knight always goes to h6. Yet again, when you move a pawn, there's space left behind, which in this case is h6. Calvin, meanwhile, has gone a4. And a4. Possibly he's hoping this pawn gets challenged and he can close the queen side and then shift his attention to the king side. He's got a very methodical way of attacking. Doesn't feel too impulsive, so he just secures everything before he attacks. That's one of the issues of attacking. Best defense to an attack is usually a counter-attack. So if the center is slightly open, don't be surprised if there's some kind of sacrifice and suddenly you being attacked. But now g5, and g4 is coming, so white needs to do something about the f pawn, and maybe just get rid of it. Get rid of the pawn. G4 doesn't seem so powerful anymore. Not too sure what these knights are doing, to be honest. It's restricting the queen's movement for the time being, but honestly, the play is going to continue on the king side, and your knights are dancing around on the queen side. Yep, that knight goes back. So you're really wondering what you did, and then g4 as well. Calvin getting everything he wants. And if when or whatever recaptures that pawn, we're going to see f4. This is his plan now. Oh, this must hurt white quite a lot. Yep, f4. That's why the knight took, but I might have just kept the knight there as an attacking piece. In any case, this f3 move seemed to have killed his previous attack as well against Dr. Shabir. It was like it might have came from a very similar position. And like he did not exactly know that pushing g3 and bishop takes seems to kill, But we'll see something like rook f7 probably before any of this happens. Yep, king h8, and then rook g8, and then only something like this. Psychologically, some players play different to others, so he prepares everything so neatly. Bishop takes, I guess, comes with tempo. Ah, sneaky. Still black is to be preferred. You got the bishop here in a very close position, but this time it doesn't feel like the knights are doing that well. So he's going to play bishop f6, yeah. Cut off this knight, and now suddenly something like bishop h6 is going to be on the board. Um, yeah, bishop h6. Going forward, just f takes. And he's down on the clock again. 50. Well, he berserked, so this is. Yeah, again, I would not have worried about that f pawn being attacked. But the rook goes to f7, and everything is neat and under control. Okay, but it makes bishop h6 seem a bit slow. I felt like it would have hit with more power just now, but we're going to see some kind of trade on f3. Oh no, here's a skewer to get rid of the knight. Wow, very controlling attack. This is what it looks like if you really want to make sure your opponent doesn't get any counterplay. Now what now? This was my issue. Are you going to play bishop h3 now? Yeah. Point is it's not hanging. Queen can recapture and the pawn is pinned. So you've got 3 attackers. White has got 2 defenders. He can bring another one like this. And he's losing material if he goes for that. So what are his options? I don't think he has too many. Maybe king h1. Brings a queen like this. But Calvin brings another piece. I think he could have even captured there. My only issue with that position was g3. Yeah, g3. What do you do after g3? Sorry. It should still be winning, but not such a quick. Okay, what do you do after g3? Yes, obviously. What is g3? Okay, so there's a rook sack, but who knows if Colvin would give away a rook for that? Okay, well, great chess, I guess. And, I usually play too aggressively, and Craig is still battling against the wolf. In an equal position, is the wolf looking to adopt Mr. Craig Willenberg? Knight f5, be careful. He's got a tactic in mind. 92 check, picking up the rook. Still a lot of time on the clock for the wolf. This is in a right position for him to navigate. I guess when you've got 2.5 minutes, you're looking to be in at least something that starts to look like an endgame with 1 minute still on the clock. So he's going to maybe still play accurately for now. Goes off that b pawn. White's weakness is this d pawn. Where are the pawns that are supposed to defend it? Really wishes this pawn was on e3 now. And it might be that Craig had been playing with this isolated d pawn throughout the rest of the game. And this pawn will get hunted down. Not exactly like this, but there are potential squares for the knight to go to. This is still locked down for the knight. So you need to find... this is a square. I can imagine... Okay. Guessing the wolf has got a slight edge over here in this position. Oops, where's the knight going to? Oh, he says counterplay. Take my knight, I take yours, and I will like the doubled pawn. I wonder why. Okay, Craig is going to go for this. It's a way to fix this d pawn of his. King takes, pawn takes. King e3. You're not defending this pawn as white, but you can just continue attacking. Rook d5, king takes, or rook takes on e4. And suddenly this weakness is gone in white's camp. Uh, oh, okay, there's an idea after that to go rook d3 check. But it is still white's move, so you can just play king e3, king e5, but still, this just looks very drawish. Oh, by the way, not king e5, because the f7 pawn will be hanging. So definitely go for this line if I were Craig. I would not be allowing the pawn to stay around too much. Is Craig considering something with knight to h? No, I don't think any of that works because of rook takes e5. So he's exploring his options. I guess you should respect some of the other options in the position. Um, but simplifying and allowing that d pawn to disappear seems like a very quick way to make sure that this game does not go south, as Wolf is a bit of the superior opponent here. He goes for it. King e3. King e3, I should expect, unless you're thinking as white, I'll pick up that f pawn. I'll pick up that f pawn with my rook and hold on to the d pawn, and I'll be the one off the pawn with the increment. This is a slightly better option. King e4 is the improvement on the line I was investigating, as it allows a rook to come through. You can maybe go for this. I think this is a good idea. Just to upset. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. I was missing this. Okay, so you needed to trade down there, and now you can pick up. No, oh, yeah, you can. You can pick up this f5 pawn. Rook checks, simply rook here. I guess it's a must play, but then rook takes f2 is the idea. So then you put one isolated pawn on this side of the board. Don't think that's exactly what he wants. You can pivot your rook on f4 and push this a4 pawn to secure the side of the board. Okay, so I'm guessing the line we should be afraid of is rook f4. Okay, this is why he goes for b4 immediately. King will run to this side of the board. Not sure if I would have allowed the king to come. That's why he cuts it off again. But now white. Oh, okay. White can now pick up the pawn. No, he can't. This time it's dangerous. I was thinking king f4 is possible, but then rook takes f2, and the wolf would have played that instantly. Instead, it seemed like he's going down in this endgame against Craig Willenberg. Going to fold this rook back now. The rook's going to have to fulfill a defensive role. As he's playing king a5, I can not guess that's the plan. I wouldn't guess that's the plan. Unless it's king a5, some idea of getting this rook away. In any case, wolf is tricky. A4, no. You could just simply wait around as white as well, get the time situation lower, and see if the wolf slips up. I think I do just continue making moves. Oh, but now rook here. Oh, the king has managed to do this. Ah, okay. So there's going to be some liquidation. King to b6 would be my instant idea. Oh, but Craig playing this endgame very, very well. Just goes back to defend the pawn. It says the king will come to the square in a second. Oh, just want to hit this pawn because then the rook will have the responsibility of babysitting it. This is also a nice developing move because f4 is two moves, not moving your pawn up move by move, but making sure it just comes up the board. And he's definitely converting this. You can go back for these pawns now. And the wolf trying to get his king out just to attack this pawn. He's going down. Increment for Craig. Wow. Always aware of the pawns that are falling. And the wolf must be so tired now, trying to find all this counterplay, wishing he had not berserked. And There's no king g6. You would have liked to play king g6 here. Something. King here and simply f6 and rook f8. And either way, if this rook trades down, even this king helping this pawn through is inevitable. So the wolf resigns. An hour left on the clock. Craig Willenberg on that second place, fighting against Colvin Clausen. And Colvin and the doctor are in the game again. And this is usually an exciting matchup. Let's just see how we got here. And we got here through a very I don't know what the name of this is. Colvin yet again finding a nice outpost for his knight. No other pawns around to kick away the knight. Still the doctor's Babudian is an aggressive player, so Colvin needs to deal with this threat. They have not gone berserk against each other, maybe mutual respect, and obviously, inverting the order, if that knight had been on h5, knight takes h6, check, pawn takes, and then rook here. That would be instant material for those looking to convert positions like that quickly. Without playing with a type of advantage. Positionally, trying to convert it into a material one. We get players that prefer to do that. And in the chat, we have Mohammed Sanir, Muzair. Surprised not to see him play. They both play for the Manyanani Chess Club, and it is a youth day arena. Obviously, today, 16th of June, is Youth Day. And interesting that Muzair's father is playing and he isn't. Maybe because it's Youth Day, he gets to take the day off. But the parents still need to work. In any case, Doctor's trying to find something. What is the obvious move here? I guess rook f3 would be my plan. Why have one rook on the third rank when you can have two? You can always go back for it, I guess. This is also the other idea. Rook g3, just get the file going. Potentially, there's something like this. Ooh. And Shabir's playing for the audience here. He sees his son in the spectator room probably, and thinks to himself, "Let me show the guy how to play chess." Gives up the knight on g7, and this is reminiscent of what Dr. Lyndon Bua did. Oh, here's the tactic. Wow, what a sequence! Rook takes g6, well, f takes, and then you get the queen, but you're still playing against two rooks. I think he saw the sequence but did not realize black would be getting some material for it. Oh, he's now not too happy with what has happened. Knight takes g7, what a find. That queen was trapped. You need to play queen takes now, and after pawn takes. Well, I guess a lot of compensation in these types of position lies in the fact that the king is very exposed. So you choose two rooks in a position where your rooks can coordinate and your king is safe, and loads of weak pawns for your rooks to pick up, etc. You choose the queen in a situation where the opponent's king is very exposed, and your queen can, well, in this case, also pick up some pawns. Oh, this is instructive. Forcing the rook to the g file. If the rook had just remained here, it was possible to play check, but after rook e7, this rook is also joining in on the fun on the f file. Now, if rook had blocked on here, you'd have this check, and you'd be picking up pawns, and there's not too much play on the g file as on the f file. Okay, black actually has got a big threat over here. If you can play this on that tempo, if there wasn't a check, checkmate idea would also be pretty strong. But okay, the two rooks are aligning. Colvin in deep time trouble. Equal material, but the queen is definitely to be preferred. You need to start making something now as white. Looking for... Don't play too many check moves. They don't achieve too much here, and they give your opponent increment. Oh, here was an idea. Since king h7, queen here actually does pick up a concrete pawn, because the queen is now in front of the rooks with a check. The rooks aren't able to block and defend. So Coven instantly defends the pawn, says, check me a lot, I'm just going to run my king away, and I'll use that increment from the checks to stay in the game. Very low on the clock, 14 seconds. And tournament standing wise, the Doctor has not been able to get into the game yet. Trades off on the queen side, tries to look for a way to go after some of these unprotected pawns. Colvin needs to defend quickly and goes on the counter attack. Queen h7 and rook g7 will be played instantly. By the way, if there's a liquidation, if the queen comes off and these two rooks come off, the game is still drawn. Actually, the compensation is pretty cool in this manner. King pawn endgame seems to be drawn, only if this pawn comes off together with the queen. White might be slightly better. I'm guessing the kings just get stuck on these two squares. Or, well, maybe white has got some potential to play for the win. Black king is also very active though, so king starting here, you can play with opposition, I guess. Well, black's king might actually... this is actually a very deep endgame. Need to spend this with a lot of time over the board. And Dr. Shubs trying to find a way to start pushing something forwards. Make another threat, and these rooks, they need to stay together. So if you can just get this pawn off, you're won as white. So queen f6 maybe. His issue is get again this rook e2, rook g8 idea. But I'd try it. See if there's a way to get the queen back quickly enough through check maybe. Well, that's the issue. Just defend there. The pawn's in the way. Oh, and now it seems like Colvin might be trying to play for a win. Finds a new home for his king. Coordinates here. At least you've got checks indefinitely. And here in the chat is Joseph Marley saying this is tense. Yeah. He knows these situations. Colvin has managed to make the time situation equal. Now picking up a pawn. He's the one going to be playing for more. He can play rook c3 now. Rook c3. I would not be waiting too long to play rook c3. Oh, he waits till his time is on 0.2 seconds. Oh, and he gets flagged. Just like that. He's been fine on the clock the whole time. Goes on the offensive and just loses. And by the way, the wolf has gone down twice. Once against Banele. His buddy did not berserk. Just make a quick draw. He went for the win. And he's playing against Marco Bine now. Banele realizes he needs some points, so he's going to take his friend down. He can't just make draws all the time. It stops the streak. So his buddy looks fine. He says, "You're on 30 points. Donate some berserk points to me." And Banele's playing against what? Grobmeister and it's two 1700s over there. And Colvin is not in a pairing. Anatoly Kor pawn playing against Blackjack 1 now. And let's wait for the wolf to get a game, and he did. And he's been in the game a while. Sorry, the player that's not in the game is Colvin, I guess. He's playing against Blackjack, and Zuichenschuk is playing against Kor pawn. Let's see what Craig is up to. And who is this player, Mr. Carpon? Then the top 5, which already is quite a difficult position to be holding. Clever play on the word Karpov over there. Karpon, I guess. The K, the Russian K. And he's taken down Craig twice, so this is definitely more than an equal matchup. Structurally, things look symmetrical. We've got some minor piece development to squares that make the game seem tricky to navigate. We've got, for instance, these two knights that aren't on their homes, and then just this bishop and the second one. Now What is the deep idea behind hanging this pawn on b7? Um, is it just to get some kind of tempo with rook b8 and defend the knight again? Um, Unfortunately, this knight and queen, they're very bad because of this bishop, and now white has managed to win a pawn. And he's going to probably car his pawn through, as he's suggesting. Queen a7, threatening the pawn again. You can play with a bit of increment. The only clear square the queen can go to otherwise is f3, and this is maybe Craig's idea. Okay, so a7 is tried, but you can wait. You can't repeat now. Sorry, that's quite nice. Bishop's now on a8, and the pin is finally relieved, getting off of this pin from the bishop, and bishop is still pinning though. It's annoying, and now this piece is pinned. There's a game of pins. I think queen c8 should be blitzed out. Coming with tempo, allowing this bishop some room, defending this bishop. Yeah, queen c8. Don't recommend queen e8. Doesn't seem to be achieving a lot along these five. Uh, Queen c8. What else is he considering? The issue is I think he sees rook c1 and you might just need to move the queen again. Something like bishop c6 maybe. Knight e4 now. And this upsets the defense of the bishop. You can take the knight. I might just consider jumping in. It's not possible yet, so you need to recapture first, I guess. And we should just be watching the game from now. I don't think commentating too much. They've both gone into a bit of time trouble here, and especially Mr. Carpawn. They know they can rely on the 3-second increment. Oh, that's a queen trap. No, queen c5. Sorry. But the bishop hangs on a3. Mr. Carpawn overlooking that. He's got two pawns. Oh, no, 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 that's not a bishop, by the way. After queen trades, rook takes a3. This knight on d5 is also hanging. So, Craig is looking for a way to play it so that there's no hanging pieces at the end of the line, because otherwise you just liquidate and you're down two pawns on the queen side and they're both passed pawns. He has to go for it, I think. Just finding a new idea here is takes the rook first. Okay, so in this line, he says that both my knights are still. Ah, okay, there's the way. And he finds it quickly without going down on the clock. This line, my knights are both protected. And oh, blunders that bishop. Oh no, he's going to be very angry with himself. And you can take here as white, simplify, and give this check. Just be nasty. Oh no. Go back for the pawn. No, I'd give this check over and over again if I could. Force that bishop to f8. Bring that knight to f6. Oh, that's just the dream. Okay, what to do now? They're still down loads of time over here. Mr. Carpawn is going to be carpooling those pawns through to the other side of the board. Okay, he drops one. He's not so careful with them, and his advantage is just diminished. Keeping the king out of the game, getting the rook to b7, and then running this pawn seems like a very concrete way of playing the position. But the check, you need something else in mind here as white. Okay, so what is he saying exactly? That knight d6 is a threat? So he does get the position, and it seems quite better than just now. And I guess that check actually did not allow the king to become active. That's what I would have been afraid of. Okay, now you need to run the b pawn as soon as possible as white. Harass the bishop for a second. Just be careful. Oh, that bishop becomes active too. And Craig is hitting back here. Really feels like a boxing match. There's no mates here for white, unfortunately. Just don't go king h8, yep. And you can run this king to the rook. Still 49 minutes to go. Oh, don't take this pawn. This will be mate. Actually, how are you getting out of the mate? You'll need to play something like b4 or give up the knight. Check for now, but you still got a big issue over here. You need to play b4. Oh, nearly no time on the clock. Second left. You see b4. And black can continue the harassment. And this is mate. That was what f4 was about. Just shutting him out. And Craig surviving and actually making that lifetime score seem a lot better. Has there been another draw over here between Banilovic? Yep. We did not miss too much action in that case. South African Enchi. And the Enchi does not berserk Banele, so we have this very nice setup by white. I actually also played. So bishop d3, just temporarily defending the pawn as you play against the Sicilian. And you planning, actually, you can put it on different squares. f1 is also an idea. And then d4 is actually a move you've already prepped with a c3 move. It's quite a harmonious way to play the position. Actually, Enchi, I don't know if would have berserked him with that rating, 22-29. But Nele did not check that rating. d3. Vanilla takes into a discovery. Says structurally he's got something similar to the Maroczy bind, but for black. The pawn on e5 and c5. h6, and a lot of the times h6 is not just about h6, it's about getting that king to h7, room for this rook on g8, future you can push f5. But the entry has not used any time on the clock, right? So played it a bit like a bullet game. He gets 3 seconds though. The 3 seconds, he's just playing to keep Banele in time trouble. And when it does get tricky, he'll go into a think. And that's really the way he should be winning. Just keeping the position complicated for the guy that has little time compared to your amounts of time. You should. That is maybe what Queen b5 is about. No, Banele replies instantly. Let's trade. Go to a simple position. I'll find something over there and take you down. And expecting knight e3 now. Oh, by the way, what about knight e3? This would have been a nice idea for black, saying that take my queen, I'll do this in betweener to with check to confuse your pawn structure, and then I'll recapture. But the problem is knight d5 and simply knight recaptures. Still maybe black is to be preferred. That's a cool idea, knight d5 in the previous position. Actually still playable. 95 might be even stronger now. Knight. So with the king on h7, or even king over there. Let's make a hypothetical move. Okay, something else. h3, knight d5, and you need to play knight takes d5 to hold onto the queen. And after that, we simply have pawn recapturing, trying to make an passed pawn with these pawns that have come up so far on the board. But that's more of a classical chess idea, I guess. The pace they're playing at, just trying to keep it simple. More pieces have been traded. Black seems more comfortable. I wonder what the issue was with taking this knight to f5. Is it trapped after this line? And indeed it is. Knight f5 would have trapped the knight. Black offers draw. Says, okay, listen, you didn't manage anything in the middle game. Let's just take the draw. And the Enchi says, nope. We'll play on. This is the part of the game I want to be at, where you're not going to tactically outwit me. And what really matters is long positional ideas. We are in the end game, and I'm attacking this pawn currently. How are you defending it? You need to uh, do something weird with your knight, like take it backwards. And now white with this very nice idea of making a connected pass pawn on the d file. This is a very nice outpost. If only black's knight could do the same, he'd be very happy. Declining this, and look at who's progressing now. The person with more time on the clock, finding more deeper positional ideas. Ah, does this get the exchange? Do you want this type of exchange? Do you maybe just want your bishop over here, your knight? One thing I'm thinking is this knight is going to recapture and go to d4 and do pretty much the same thing. So you really want to consider your advantages over here. Um, as white, I might not have touched that knight at all when it was on d5. Oh, he finds something deep. Ah. Oh, and all one of his pieces are now on the 8th rank. He did not want to trade off this bishop because it's the defense of the e5 pawn. And the Enchi is happy with what he's managed so far. One piece on the 8th rank, cramping in the entire position of Banele's. Still not seeing the outcome. And now this knight is suddenly getting to e4, so I wouldn't be too happy. Exactly what I said. After this knight developed, it just went to this d5 square, and now both knights on their ideal squares, where trading with one of the bishops is just going to help your opponent. So don't touch those knights. They are untouchable. I'm going to make for a tactically tactically sharp position. Throws in a check. Um, but all the while, South African Enchi still working down that clock. He hasn't achieved much, but maybe this isn't the time to start achieving much. Need to wait until that time runs down just a little bit more. Knight f1, still just maneuvering. This is a very quiet game. Luckily for yeah, okay, well, I was thinking luckily from the c8 square is still there, but this is obviously the key square of the game. By the way, for the last few seconds, only 2 seconds have come off of Panele's clock. And that sounds funny. Sorry, for the last few seconds, only a few seconds have come off. Well, what I meant to say is for the last few moves, and the Enchi has not done something weird enough with the position to make that time advantage last. And finally, we have a concrete plan here. One pawn break after this bishop on e6 shows its worth now. Compare it to this bishop on a6. Helping this f5 pawn move up. If you want to trade, unfortunately, you're just helping black create a passed pawn. And just don't lose this game. Knight can recapture either way. So the idea of recapturing the pawn is gone. So maybe there's a way to play with that. Okay. And she needs to regroup with this bishop. I'll put it on d5 if I were him. He does so. And after that's done, there's not much to be said. You need to be careful of what this knight is capable of after this trade. So he keeps onto the tension yet again. He's going to really just grind this game for every little bit of advantage he can find. Oh, that he drops a pawn finally, finally. But that pawn is still 30 seconds on the clock for Vanele, and not clear what. Well, he can make a pass pawn immediately. He should be doing that, but he's not doing it. So you can be happy for the time being. Just actually, that's a move to make space for the queen side, and white's going to occupy. Oh, that's just such a great square. Oopsie. You can actually leave this bishop here for now. There's this annoying check. So he's going to play king up or something. Ah, and when the time's right, oh, this check is no longer available. And Benele finally up a piece. And then she has declined draw twice in this game. And is in a very tense situation where you can still try and flag. Ooh, there's unfortunately we have after 98 bishop g4 check. Benele's going to get two pieces now. And not a lot of time on the clock, so Yeah, you need to stop this as soon as possible, and he hasn't. Still a scary situation. Let's just see what happens. Need to run an A pawn or something. That was a blunder, unfortunately. Pushing the A pawn would have been a clearer way to play it. Running back for the pawn. You're not in time for Banele's pawn. And I think Banele will be taking this one home. Yeah, he sees checkmate. He smells it. He's got it. Very happy he will be. What a game. What a long grind. And what a way for it to just fizzle out over there and go wrong for Banele. And that means he's in second place. For the Enchi, who's also trying to play her for a podium prize, it seems. Losing a lot of time on the tournament clock in that game, unfortunately. Spending a lot of time on something that did not work out in his favor. And we'll see what the Wolf gets up to against Mr. Bakhat. And it seems this tournament will either be uh, the Bakhat's tournament, no, 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 the Wolf's tournament, or Banele's. Either way, I guess they'll be pooling in the prize money and splitting it. They'll be pulling a South African hyena. So that's why all the draws are happening. They're not, and I guess also like makes sense to take down Keith in that other game as well. You need to secure those first two places, and I think Colvin is the biggest worry for them. Shabir, obviously, but Colvin having more luck than Shabir so far. I've not seen him in the top 10 lately. 37 minutes to go. And Ramashilo in the comment section saying minority attack with a T after everything. The attack. Yeah, maybe I missed something. If there was a majority or three pawns and then two and you just push them up. But now Keith is focused on this pass pawn. He'll do something with this, and maybe the idea is just to clear up some space for the knight to come to the square. Okay, this is getting sharp now. Ah, that's the that's the point. The rooks were defending each other. Ah, such a valid point, and it gets you a full piece. You make valid points like that. Okay, now queens get traded off. I mean, you're up material. Do something forcing like this to get the queens off. In a pen, you must go for it. F5 pawn is also a target. So black, this is kind of scary, I guess. These are D pawns. And these three pawns. When they come a marching, well, C2 is the tricky move to get in. And you need D3 for that move. And if D3, then the pawn's hanging again. So the pawns aren't going anywhere. D2 is possible at this exact moment, but he did not play it. Yeah, Keith is just worried about those pawns. He'll figure it out soon. D2's always been available, and D2, D3, do something with the bishop along the diagonal. I guess that would have been a strong plan. Um, Keith trying to find counterplay on the king side. These knights are gluing these pawns in the board, so they're just holding them together. So trying to get away one of the defenders, going after one of the pawns. Uh, Coming back to the side of the board, I guess bishop check, this exchange is some kind of compensation. Now c4, I would not be hesitating. C4, bishop d6. I'm thinking you just give away everything as black, and yeah, the guy missed E7 says Panageo in the comment section. D3 is the faster pawn to go for. Uh, you need at least two pawns next to each other, but even then they get traded off. Keith is now just hurting this guy. Let's check as well. Keith is saying, actually, I'm the guy with the two passed pawns. Two rooks behind them. Disrespect these two pawns of yours over here. They're just on the third rank. Look at these guys. And you're not pushing them even. Guess if you push them, the other one becomes a target. So yeah, finally the pawn gets pushed, but because this pawn's now defended. Trying to trade off the defender. D2 is not possible. Making a queen does nothing. Be careful now. Rook takes. I'd be playing rook takes. If rook takes, you actually do manage to make a queen as black. Yeah. What's Keith's plan over here? Run the rook away. And now we play c4. Or even knight e5. Aha. Knight takes, knight takes. Okay, the rook gets out with check. This guy's making it tricky. Keith needs to be careful. Oops. This one. Always be careful of d2. But d2 is not such a big threat. The knight also covers the square. But Keith is making his life very hard over here. I'm just expecting c4. Nah, this I don't buy. c4. Okay, Keith has had enough. The Buckhead had a good run with these pawns. Getting some material for them as well. Only down actually an exchange now. And needs to try to find a way quickly to defend the pawn. Aha. Don't move the rook here. That would have been this check. Stop pushing this guy, yeah. And this is now the third possible Keith will have to worry about. Oh my word. This is not going the way he expected it to. Not just yet. No pushing the pawn yet, but you can. Okay, now Keith should have it in the bag. Oh no, this guy has still got some time on the clock and finding some tricky ideas. Keith trying to prove a point and get some material. Check also loses the pawn. Pushing the pawn. Pushing the pawn. And then check. Moving the king. Knight takes is necessary. And then there might be a check and something like picking up the pawn again. So you need to push the pawn now. Yeah. Okay, and Keith will insert the check, I guess. Now you need to move your king back. Yeah, I think just one square back and okay, he's getting material, but well done so far for Bakhat. He's holding a position I would not have believed ended in this one. Not holding it, he's going down now. This is a great advantage, but having lasted so long, this is a psychological edge. Even bishop g7, throwing the king to f8, with ideas of him maybe sacrificing the rook for a passed pawn and your king doing that traditional rook king h8 defense strategy. In any case, I would not have been trying to play this game as long as what is happening at the moment. Keith not converting very cleanly over there. I actually want the game to quickly come over because doing a computer analysis over here would be very interesting. And with half an hour of the tournament left, 45 Paneles. Okay, so first place seems like it's securing itself. Colvin is not putting up the fight. He needs to if he wants to take that first place. In any case, let's Let's see, Coach Roland Willenberg in the house. And yeah, the father of ex Such and Kenny. He's also playing. This guy's a dangerous player. Knows his theory. He's set up what do they call this thing with the three pawns? Caracan closed thing where you don't even move this bishop from the light square early on. In any case, while let's just keep an eye here. The moves are actually coming in pretty quickly. Roland's moving quickly as well. I thought he might move more slowly by this time. But trying to keep your time pressure on. Um, yeah, time pressure, I'm not sure if that is the strategy. You need to come up with deeper ideas here, and you've got more time. The time pressure and the wolf is fine. Yeah, you're the one that's going to blunder. In any case, don't know what that's about. Superior, or what's this guy's name? Super EU. In any case, while there's still half an hour of the tournament left, and you guys are hopefully enjoying this tournament, I want to remind you guys of the Restoring Dignity charity fundraiser tournament that we are hosting this Saturday. 3-hour tournament in 3 days' time, which is Saturday, and you need to be part of Restoring Dignity charity fundraiser, the team. And you fill in this document, and then we accept you into the team. So far, Daniel Caudry just confirmed he's playing, and asked some other strong players if they're playing. Keith will be playing, the Wolf, the guy we're commentating on at the moment, and Vanilla as well. So it will be tough, and all proceeds, it's 40 Rand entrance, and all proceeds are going. You can read about it. There's an article in the Sowetan Live as well. But it's a charity for sanitary pads. So one of the industrial psychology students here is trying to raise some money, and he came up with the idea of making a charity chess event for his charity. Actually, he is a pageantry guy. Never really knew what that was about. Always thought it was people posing for photos, and then he started throwing some of the figures that they are able to make through pageantry events. And now this was nice. I was wondering about e5 back here. E5. But in any case, he goes for this attack. I'd go back and then go e5. E5 just seems like such a cool move. But you don't want to lose your rook, right? So we're going back and e5. The bishop will need to move. And you can trade the bishop, win a pawn. In any case. Yeah, so I used to think pageantry was like a narcissist type of thing, but uh, completely proven wrong. And this type of event is not going so well as we were hoping. So if you guys still want to join, I'll put the link to the tournament in the description and comment section. So if you are watching this and want to join that tournament, please do so. And there goes a little tactic, and Roland's going down. Okay, that was unfortunate. He had a great game, and moving too quickly. He did not berserk. He should be taking his time over there. And Keith is going to get this one. I don't think this is the most interesting game at the moment. Uh, Things will simplify here, and Keith will start pushing these two pawns, pick up some more pawns, maybe even these. The knight's still around. It's an entire piece. The bishop might just come off as well, and then it's just a clean knight. Actually, wait, the conversion might happen quickly. Uh, Knight back for now. No, just king. Okay, more room for the knight. Actually, this is mate. Let's see if he gets the mate. Wait, there's nothing. Okay. Okay, so showing me over that I should showing me that I should finish the games that I watch. What pairing are we getting now on board one? Craig, is he still in the game? He's playing against the Shubs, and they got a super sharp sharp game over here. Let's watch this game. Wow. Okay, this seems pretty normal so far, except for f5, which is obviously some kind of preparation. And the best white could do over here was to go knight takes check, holding on to the knight, going for a pawn. And Shabir said, I'm fine with that. My queen attacking this pawn. This is what this opening is about. And whoa, how are you defending your rook? Cool preparation over here, giving two pawns for this. Uh, I'm not a fan of playing f5 so quickly as black, especially if white's gone e4, but with preparation like this, you know you've got to be happy. Also, watch out for the bishop that's hanging and the pawn on g2. Ethan's in the chat there. Uh, in any case, you know, Greg has just gone into a think after king d8. Sometimes I don't update the games after pausing like this, but we are on move 8 and Greg is down on 3 minutes over here. Or maybe I should ask. Cool stuff. Yeah, I was thinking d3 or something to hit the queen, but queen takes g2, and you've still got as many problems as which you've started with. Oh, unless d takes is the idea. That's why not d4 and d3 instead. So d3, queen takes g2, takes check, and then just simply blocking the check. Uh, bishop check is also available. You still need to defend your rook, your knight, and your bishop. So bishop was the defense. Okay, so Muzair is helping us here um, in the comment section, saying this is some tricky prep in the Schliemann. So I'm guessing the Schliemann has got to do with f5 on like what the second move or something. So and yet again, I'm reminding you guys to go check on my channel. This father-son duo, they play exciting chess. Um, and finally picks up the piece now. The rook needed to save itself, but here was the point. Picking up a piece and the bishop is not defending that piece because of the pin. But might still be some compensation for white in the sense that the king is still very exposed. This idea I'm not too keen. He wanted to go for the mate idea. It allows knight f6 with tempo. Ooh. And I think the long-term idea was to get castled. So how does he want to do it? You're not getting castled without that p2 pawn around, and this piece is being hit. And we're getting full material over here. Oh no. Oh, I guess the bishop's useless. Oh, this is super sharp. Okay, rook f8 just solves the sharpness of the situation, not defending the rook on a7, saying this is useless. Useless rook, go take it, man. And saying I castle instead. But now rook takes a2, and I think that's game over. Rook takes a2. I would resign. Whoa. Rook takes d6 off, rook takes a2. And king g8. This is some really weird chess. And then that move by black, king g8, needs to claim that you're not getting mated here. So that you're not getting, well, that you're gonna mate, you're not getting mated yourself as. Okay, we're gonna see rook takes these. Oh no, this is more. Wait, bishop check. No, this is madness. Pawn takes though, and black is fine. Now up a lot of material, up a piece. Still up that one piece, and this is nice point over there. Pieces hanging. Everything gets consolidated, up a lot of material over here. Oh, that got super sharp so quickly. That was a cool game. Very cool. And the Wolf is running away with today's tournament. He's gone 55. And we have my favorite pairing of the tournament, Colvin versus South African Wolf. This is the first one they've playing today, and we have also it seems to be a sharp line. Maybe slow prep because not one of them have berserked each other. So loads of respect there. Well, actually, just the respect from the Wolf side because he's been the one to be berserking the whole day so far. Not not Colvin. He just doesn't berserk. He could maybe write off his tournament result as to not having berserked. Okay, so Queen h3 was my thought. I was looking at this, thought Queen h3 is stopping you from castling kingside, and you're not getting Queen g2 is the way to get castled, and King f1 to approach it, and Rook g1. So a nice piece over here. It's going to take a while to get it away from the square. G4 and I simply take the pawn. So castling queenside now seems like your hope, but you need to do that and go into this open file on your king, which comes with tempo against the knight. So that was the idea behind Queen h3. Still, well, immediately preferring black over here. Looking at something like, okay, so where does the knight go to? G3. Is that a move you need to make? G3, okay. Now remember, this knight is pinned. Knight e5 is possible for the time being. Rook takes is also possible. Yep, the exchange sack with knight e5 as well, and now this piece is being hit, so he might get an exchange. Also, where's the queen going to? Whoa. All the way here on b7, that's the only square. b7, man. What a nice exchange sack. Picking up material immediately, and wait a minute. You can't do so because of a back rank by the queen. Very nice calculation by the wolf, but missing the queen on the back rank. Queen on the back rank was a big thing to miss. After bishop takes, rook takes, rook takes, he's trying to find a way that he just doesn't get mated here. And there isn't a way. Uh, he missed the back rank in this calculation. He still has a lot of counterplay, at least. Now he goes for this tempo move, saying that okay, well, we can maybe make a draw if you want to go for something like this. So that's what he's hoping for, just the draw now. Colvin, if he should take the draw or not, that's up to him. Not sure what I would do. Suddenly, the queen that was doing such a good job on this side of the square is not. Just imagine a situation where the queen is, let's say, on a4, and you've managed to get this bishop as black. Then you've got some material, right? You're not down three, not down the exchange and a pawn. And then you can slowly start regrouping and manage some attack on this exposed king. Uh, Find a way to get the queen back. By the way, queen g2 is a move to consider as black once the moment arises. Colvin try to find something, some idea here, but there's not really any great tactic. The queen is also out of reach from the knight, so I'm not seeing anything that opens the file and attacks the queen. So a lot of people missed the tournament. Okay, I think one of the main reasons Colvin isn't going for the pawn on a7 is he wants to avoid knight c6. So he goes back b7, and now he can go to a6 if he wants to escape this perpetual motion. And a nice thing that happens as soon as you're on a6 is that after all of these trades, well, let's go back. And also I'm defending the knight, so that doesn't even matter. But obviously, mate is more worth more. The knight's being attacked now. It doesn't have squares to go to. Yep, a few. This is one of them, and it defends the c3 pawn. And a3 is also defended currently. The wolf is down the exchange, managed to put Calvin in some time pressure, and he yeah, he needs to find something great over here. Um, it doesn't feel that lost for black. White's king is still pretty exposed, so I don't know if all hope is gone for the wolf. At least he's doing a good job by putting Colvin in some time pressure. And while one thing I know that it could be against the wolf so far is that uh, Colvin misplayed that tactically. All positions now equal. Can you get the rook out of? Well, it's not necessary. Is Colvin going to attack the knight? You can still move the knight. You can got queen g2 as well tactically to get out of this mess. In any case, before the previous move, I was just going to say well done to the wolf for putting Colvin in some time pressure. That's a way to get yourself out of this tricky nonsense. Now you need to move your knight. It's actually after queen g2, your knight's hanging. And Colvin's going to go down on the clock. That just take the knight. Oh, he tries a mate threat. Whoa, whoa. Is there a way out of this? Ah, final move of the game. I completely missed the idea of creating a mate threat. If that knight could not go back there, that would have been game over. Maybe h6, right? And then king can still run. But the knight holds onto material and fine. Now looking just to trade off, and at the end of the day, the c4 trade is also going to happen. Playing up a full minor piece now. He was down the exchange, playing up a minor piece, and look at the time situation. He's nearly back to the 5 minutes he started on. Okay, that is still such a big game. He's definitely going to be walking away with first place over there. Vanille playing against the Enchi, a second time they are in the game. Craig Willenberg kind of taken down by Shabir, Vanille, and then again by Vanille. So not three good games. Colvin will be hoping to surpass him in these last few minutes. He might need to berserk to get that in. I mean, a game can take up to 10 minutes, and there are only 10 minutes left of the tournament. And Colvin's waiting for a pairing. Shabir, Seaside Sunset have quite a sharp position over here. What's going to happen? This is a nuisance, but it could just liquidate after this trade and just queen. Or is he going to hold on to the king, the queen and king? Could possibly. Knight g3 is also an option. So exposed kings, equal pawn structure. Well, white had potential maybe with an outside h pawn to prove something, but now seems very equal. This is traded or held on to. Don't think holding on. Okay, creating an imbalance over here on the G file. Hmm. Knight g6, pawn takes, king g5, king f3, e6, e4 is possible. This is a way to trade off pawns. And then the two players will be running to the queen side. So this is black wants to make the point. Oh no, wait, the knight can take. Sorry. So white with the well, very hard to predict a game. If anyone will take this game at all, or if it will just be a draw, not too sure. Issue with king going back to g5 is probably aha. He can get the c pawn to move. This b7 pawn is a weakness. Oh, he gives up. He knows he can exchange and go back for this a long-term weakness, possibly play up a pawn on the king side. And now he's definitely playing up well a pawn, and this was the better pawn to get because now it's just two double pawns over here. Uh, that was pretty cool. And the king is now in time. I would not have inserted that check. Getting the king there immediately. Well, I don't know. This seems already so good for white. 8 minutes to go. The game will be over before then, and then we'll probably be able to say what the final result is of the tournament. Knight c7, just going off that pawn, and that pawn gets taken away. There's probably still a way. I would not have liked this position as white against the Grandmaster. You know, he'd trade off that pawn of yours and then the knight for the other pawn, and somehow you get stuck in a position that you're not able to win anymore. This seems fairly straightforward. Just get the pawns up the board. If you can pick off that b6 pawn, it should just be a bonus. Um, don't know exactly if you want to split your pawns as white. If you want to play something like this, okay, he'd rather want king activity. You might just okay king activity, and then you can try and get your king around. We'll see how it's done, but it's definitely not going to be a draw. It's taking a bit of work. What has he achieved so far? If king here, what has he achieved? Okay, so he's just managed to get his king a bit closer. So such a tricky position because after this check, oh, you need to run back with your king. Oh, he gets the knights off. I think that was the biggest achievement so far, and you can just play a5 now or c5. Okay, and you're winning this. Okay, no need to look any further. Getting the knights off was his way of doing it. I thought he might just pawn storm forwards, and we don't. It seems like the top players have still off in a game. He's maybe just in a pause mode, and this looks like an interesting endgame that Craig Willenberg has against DDP 99 with an extra 9. And equal material, this imbalance is interesting. 3 pawns on the king side versus these two. And got the bishop for the knight. How are you making progress? Okay. So the extra pawn on this side, if you can manage, this is kind of cool what he's showing us. If you trade off like this, with this extra pawn you just brought in, you've actually playing against 3 against 2 over here. These 3 against these 2 that you guys just saw. And actually this pawn represents this one. So you can try and make a pass pawn over here. He says he's not going to even care about your c5 pawn. Just give me that tempo. I'll get back to these pawns in a second. If I get this move in, king f1, because he says he can still play bishop c5. stop your pawn, but king f1, maybe he just wants to go king f3, because if h2 too quickly, then king g2, and there doesn't seem to be any advantage. So uh, king f1, king g3, but now you kind of angry at yourself that you didn't pick up the pawn. You can't go bishop takes here now. So king there, and now he needs to go here. I don't know. Let's play the bishop back. I'll just play the bishop back. I don't know if there's anything else necessary here. Bishop f8. Yeah, bishop f8. Wait, yeah, he's trying to see if he can push the pawn immediately. And after takes, what happens if queen, but white also queens. Okay, so in the comments section, it says that Craig can get third place if he wins now and gets a quick draw next game. So he needs to win the game in the next few seconds, I guess. 3 minutes to go. I don't even know if pairings would still be open. Oh, and that's another interesting thing. If any one of you guys know how the leeches, here, this is very sweet. You can now, no, it's just the same. I just got king f3. Knight here. Maybe even push the pawn just to make a passed pawn over here. Because the king takes, you can really smother the guy if you want to. Be careful though. He can always just push away this pawn to get back at this pawn. So you need a few threats. This should be sorted out soon. Oh, that's the thing. If any one of you guys know how chess works in terms of when they close the tournament pairings, how much time is left of the tournament clock, or please leave your information in the comment section. It's always interesting to know when you're playing a tournament that I should probably resign this and get back and try and get more points. And if that's not the case, that you can't play another game, you can maybe try something. Still, okay, so if you take this pawn goes, and well, fortunately, black is far first, and that's checkmate. So he should be going for this. Pawn takes. This should be enough time to see that you pawn first with one move. And then, well, wait a minute. There's this tricky check from the knight. He's worried about that. So the tricky check from the knight, picking up the pawn. Okay, that's maybe something to worry about. See what Craig does. If it were me, I'd go for it in any case. I'd take the pawn, firstly, because you're just like getting rid of one of the pawns. And after the pawn pushes, you push. This check. King here. Knight takes. Push this one. He goes knight takes immediately. I already thought the idea was to push the pawn. Oh, but this is still no, doesn't seem like a win anymore. How did white defend this? And white can defend this even more if he just pushed this pawn. I'm spotting a simple idea of knight takes king h3, and after the pawn is defended, simply making a queen, and then it's a draw. So you need to do something else, and this is going to be a draw. Okay, so Craig is not even going to get another pairing. This game might not even count for the tournament. Let's see what's happening in the tournament. He is out of third place altogether. Shabir has taken a draw there. And those two, Exwichenschuk should be taking a draw around about now. 30 seconds to go. They should be making a draw if they want to do anything. Well, tournament standings. I guess this is a draw in any case. Why suffer this any longer with 7 seconds to go? Quickly make a draw. Uh, you really don't want to prove that point. And did they get the draw? No, the game clock is still running. This is going to be a draw. We're not going to watch the end of the game. And the Wolf, well done, has taken first place over there with 66. Banele in second place, 56, and Dr. Shabir Bawudian, 32. Still a big gap there between first and third place, even though there was a lot of increments. So well done to the Wolf. And well done to Shabir. Did not even see him over there, overtaking everyone. Colvin, as usual, bringing some great chess. And well, I was saying he did not berserk. It seems like he berserked a fair amount of games. And one of the games was against Shabir and went down, and I don't know if the other one was against the monster. But in any case, well done to everyone that took part in the Manyanani Youth Day Arena. Happy Youth Day to everyone. Remember about my tournament, the Restoring Dignity charity fundraiser, please. We need participants. And well, I'll see you guys soon for more South African chess games and tournaments. Remember to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.